10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good morning, football fans. It's game week 3. First 2 weeks have been a bit of a nightmare for Newcastle United with the 1 point. Same for quite a few teams, to be fair. It's going to start heating up, though, now that the signings are rolling in for most teams. We've got a Spurs fan on FC. He's confidential. Don't know who he is. And it's a bit of mystery behind him. But he's obviously going to be buzzing with Simon's joining. And we will go Sean, the Villa fan, on, as always. Not really much to smile about for him at the moment in the transfer market. But that could all change. Window shuts on Monday, so let's see what happens. We'll quickly go through this stuff. Welcome to Through Black and White Eyes. Week 3 weekend warm-up review of the fixtures available. Please adhere to standard community guidelines, keep comments respectful, and enjoy the show. It is a very early start for us. Like, share, subscribe, and hype to support the channel. There's a hype button, so hit that button, please, guys. Free to join. There is a membership option, and remember, all the money that's profit on the channel goes to getting guests on. So basically, whatever you put in, you're kind of getting back. We got Gibbo coming on Tuesday. Really looking forward to speaking to him again. Magpie Stew, how are you doing? Lee's in the house. How are you doing, mate? It's been a while. Sean, good morning.
Morning. How are we doing?
I am good. Thank you. You?
Yeah, it's another week. Who knows what can happen?
I like it. Hey, my week just got better. And we've got FC in the house. How are we doing?
Yeah, not too bad, thanks. Happy to be back on. Feeling a little bit happier than I was the last time I was here.
Yeah, skiving from work as well, I believe.
yeah, maybe. But, lots to talk about. But looking forward to it.
We've got lots to talk. So we're going to talk about every single fixture, but we're obviously not just going to talk about the actual fixture itself. Any news around the teams that we know about and our general, basically, thoughts as fans from the outside. Also looking at our own games and just having a bit of general banter, basically. No Friday night kickoff, which was nice, so we don't have to talk about a result. But we've got an early kickoff as always. Chelsea-Fulham. Chelsea look like they've kind of pieced the puzzle again now, Sean. I'm a little bit worried about Chelsea this year. 5-1 thrashing of West Ham last week. They just seem to be clicking a little bit.
Yeah, they were my tip when we had this like just before the season started. I think they're a dangerous side. I think they've got players that any Premier League team would have in their first 11, and also once they get a goal, they seem to be able to. They've got this momentum, and they've got so many players that score goals in their side, and that is always dangerous. They may not have the out and out up top striker that they would like. Not really sure why they're in for Garnacho. Don't really understand that one.
They love a winger. They just love a winger.
Well, one is just going to sit on the bench with, and two, it's not exactly been proved to have a decent attitude. 3, do they need another player that looks like he's had his hair cut with a knife and fork? I don't think they do.
Absolutely not. But Chelsea just love wingers for some reason. FC the take on Fulham. Fulham. A win in the Carabao Cup against Bristol City will boost their confidence. The draw against Man United, I mean, they were terrible in the first half, but they were very good in the second half.
Yeah, I think Fulham have gone under the radar a little bit, haven't they? With not been too much chatter around them in pre-season, or I couldn't really name you I couldn't really list their transfer signings this summer, but they've got a decent manager, haven't they? And some competent players, and don't really when you're up against them, you kind of don't know what you're going to get. You kind of they're a dangerous side. They're not like a team that you expect to knock over each week. But Man U are such a mess. I don't think you can read too much into that result, really. But
I think you hit the nail on the head with the word competent with Fulham.
They're a very hit and miss team, aren't they? They're great at home, but it's their away form that really fluctuates.
Well, they've got Muniz, haven't they? He's like their go-to. But I mean, as FC said, judging anything with Man United at the moment it's hard to know what exactly you're looking at. But Fulham got a draw on the first day of the season.
2 draws so far, 2 points. I mean, if you look at it last season, Man United beat them 1-0, so they'll see it as a point gained. Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, maybe. And it's a derby. Fulham Chelsea is a derby match, and Chelsea. Like going back to Chelsea, we were linked to Garnacho, and I'm glad we didn't get him.
I bet you are.
And that's a player that I really, Tottenham fans are desperate for signings, but that's one player pretty much the entire fan base didn't want. But yeah, it should be. Fulham Chelsea is always a decent watch, isn't it? So.
It is, yeah. Not many goals though. Last season, 2-1 win for Chelsea. Season before that, the game before that as well. Chelsea at home got beat off Fulham 2-1. That's where we mean by Fulham being a bit of an odd team. Chelsea beat them 1-0 at home. So there's not too many goals in this game.
Game at Craven Cottage used to always quite traditionally be a bit of a tear-up between these two.
Yeah.
Well,
love Chelsea Stadium, by the way. One of my favourite stadiums, that is.
Chelsea have lost just 8.3% of their Premier League games against Fulham, so they've only lost 3 out of 36. That's quite incredible. But again, like I say, Fulham have won it recently. It's going to be an interesting game, and I've done my predictions, and I think I put 2-1 for this one.
To Chelsea.
Yeah,
I was going to go with 2-1 as well. I think Chelsea were a little bit too much, really. When you've got 200 million players on your books, you do tend to have a bit of depth and bench options.
The party must cost a fortune.
Imagine the canteen bill.
Just imagine the airplane bills for all the flying around Europe they've got to do. It's mental, isn't it? Really.
If they ever win a trophy, their open top bus parade is going to just
They'll
need a couple of 2 or 3 of them, aren't they? So.
At least 3 or 4, I reckon. I tell you what, though, Chelsea are the team to follow when it comes to how to manage PSR, because they seem to get around every single rule and manage to do it, don't they? And they've done it again. They've let Jackson go out on loan to Bayern Munich. They've got a £13 million signing on loan fee from them. And I think there's an option to buy rather than an obligation to buy. I'm not sure, but it could rise to 83 million by the end of that transfer. And that just shows you Chelsea know what they're doing when it comes to business.
They absolutely do, because when you look at our clubs in particular, are actually quite good examples of teams that actually find this tricky to do. Because they've talked Bayern Munich into taking him on a 13 million loan deal. And what do Bayern want with him?
Well, they need Harry Kane's replacement, don't they? Potentially.
Well, he ain't it.
Well,
they turned to profit on Felix as well. That's unbelievable.
We turned to profit back in the day on David Luiz twice.
I know. I can't. We can't. I think we're going to ship off Basuma for about 10 million or something like that to Galatasaray. We can't give away Manu Solomon or Brian Hill, and they're turning profits on players that are barely played.
Honestly, the business they do is incredible, and this is why everyone says, "Why aren't Chelsea in trouble?" And it's just just look at how they do their business.
The way they do like internal behind the scenes business with other clubs. I think there must be an element of back scratching going on where Chelsea are helpful to other clubs.
Possibly, yeah.
Well, there must, because the way they do the deals is so slick, and you don't hear rumours, really, do you?
No.
Done, and it's apart from the Garnacho one, which has gone on for a bit, but only because he got rumoured with Tottenham. He got rumoured with us at the beginning because he was seen wearing a Villa shirt with Rashford's name on it. I mean, that's like, I was concerned. I was like, please don't club. But yeah, that lad's nothing more than a prospect. He's not done anything more than being called that. He could be a good player. Whether it'll be in this league, I don't know. But because he said he wants to live in London, well, go and work for the TFL then.
I like it. What's your score prediction, Sean?
4-1 Chelsea.
Ooh, so we've got a 2-1, 2-1 and a 4-1. I mean,
if Chelsea
could be anything, couldn't it?
If Chelsea score a goal, they're hard to stop.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree with that. I just think it'll be a bit tighter than that. I don't know. Fulham I don't know. Like it was like FC said as well, they're a weird team.
They've just got so many goals around their side.
I know.
Even if you manage to stop the wingers and you manage to stop, I don't know, João Pedro and Neto, you've then still got to worry about Fernandes and Machado, like West Ham found. Yeah, all right, they managed to put some players behind the ball. They managed to sort of placate the wingers, but then it just meant that everyone else in the side scored. Yeah. Now West Ham again are another one. How much can you judge with seeing a team against them? But I mean, West Ham went 1-0 up. It just reminded me of that old Scotland-Brazil game where it just made them angry.
Yeah. Poke the bear with that one, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Right, we go to Old Trafford. Burnley, newly promoted team. I hope it's not raining there. But let's face it. I mean, Burnley will be on a massive high, getting their first win. And again, we all said on the previous show, Sean, if the promoted teams have to do well at home, and Burnley did that last week with a 2-0 win against Sunderland, against the newly promoted team as well. Put them to the sword. They've got to go to Old Trafford thinking, geez, I mean, we can cause an upset.
Yeah, I don't think they will. I think United will actually get 3 points on this one. I think there might be a bit of awe, even though United are in bad shape. I mean, I don't know what to make of a lot of this United stuff. Some of the comments that come out, I mean, the comments that they jumped on this week from Ruben Amorim after the game, I thought were kind of nothing comments, didn't really mean much. But then yesterday he came out with, sometimes I hate my players and I want to quit my job. I think,
you don't say things like that.
The Portuguese FA needs to do some sort of evacuation mission and get him out of there, because they're just ruining one of their best managers that they've had come out of that country for years. United has just turned into this vacuum of just destroying careers.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why any player, other than the money, I don't know why any player goes there right now.
Burma could have gone to you.
I know they could have gone elsewhere. Players just go there and their careers, and then they're like 18 months later, they're all complaining. They're all complaining. Oh, they can't go to the club they want to go to, and it's like, well, don't go there in the first place. I think
there's got to be an element to be a professional footballer. You have to have some sort of ego, don't you? You have to.
Yeah.
Level professional sport, and it's that like that sort of ticking on the psychopath scale. They say that a lot of top sportsmen are very high because they have to have that solid tunnel vision belief. But I think that must be the only reason. They must think, I can go in and change that. Maybe.
There's a lot of the name of Manchester United, one of the greatest clubs of all time, arguably the biggest club in the world. There is, as we say, the ego of going there. I'm a former or current Man United player, having that on their CV. So I'm not begrudging that. But right now, just bide your time. wait a couple of years, and you could the sorts of players we're talking about. They could go to other big clubs as well, and have that on their CV. I just think right now they're just such a mess, and I think Ruben Amorim, I just can't see him turning it around, regardless of how good he is. When the momentum goes in this direction, it rarely turns around. And I agree. I think Man United will play terrible today, but get the win. Yeah. However, if Burnley do manage to win, I think Amorim could go by midnight. Yeah. Or we'll see the corner flag in the morning on the club website.
Burnley go 1-up. That place is going to get dark.
Toxic. Yeah.
And I listen. I've got no dislike or like for United. I'm very neutral on the matter. But I don't remember last time a big side went this much of a vacuum of just doesn't matter what you do, it's not working.
In the Premier League era, probably it never has happened, but it has obviously happened in history. But I would say in the Premier League era, not one top big side is fallen this far.
I mean, Black did, but they did. We're not talking about a side that was a dynasty.
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're talking about a club with big, rich history. I mean, Blackburn won the title once. I mean, they were a great club, but I wouldn't class them as a Man United or a Liverpool or an Arsenal.
The only one I can think of I say recent history, but my recent history is back to 1960. It's maybe Leeds.
Leeds, yeah. I mean, I would class Leeds as a massive club, to be fair, and they did drop. Massively.
They're still the biggest club in the country. It's it doesn't matter how many trophies and stuff you win. There's a Man United and Liverpool will always be the two, and it's just one of those things that's football history. That's how it happened. But I don't know what they're gonna do, because the thing is, I think they've got two options: you batten down the hatches, and you ignore everything outside of the club. Or the other option is obviously the bullet option.
But this is it, though. How many times they sacked managers, and then I think another one and sacked the manager, got another one.
Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Mourinho have just become free. Maybe they'll come back as a.
Well, yeah, I put something out this morning. The fact that how long until Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets appointed as caretaker. I don't think I think if it's a heavy loss today, I think he will go for sure. If it's like a 3 or 4-0 wins of Burnley, I don't think that will happen, but I think he'll go. But I was about to say, who is there out there other than Solskjaer? You're talking about Southgate, maybe? I can't think of another manager.
When Dan Ashworth was there, he wanted Southgate to come in.
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else.
If this goes on long enough, by pure probability, every single one of us would have had the job.
Right.
I might turn it down. I'm not sure I want to be there.
I would have 100% turned it down, to be fair. But this isn't going well for Man United, though. Previous results, 1-1 at home. They had a 1-0 win away to Burnley, and they also beat them 2-0 in the League Cup in 2022, 2-0. Man United obviously got knocked out with the Carabao Cup against Grimsby on penalties, and that looked disastrous game. I don't know how they got back into it, to be fair.
Did it not seem a really obvious thing to happen?
Yes, it did.
If you can look back and just go, okay, all right, so like, I don't know, Monday night, and you're looking at the fixtures and you go, they're going to find it hard there. That's like the worst fixture they could have got.
Yeah.
I mean,
an away game to Grimsby, away game to anyone at Man United at the moment is a bad fixture. But he rested a few players, but he still had a lot of stars out there, and it just didn't work. But it's going to be a tricky one. But I have gone for a Man United win, and I've only gone for I think I went 2-1. I went safe again.
Dirty.
Yeah. It'll be a scrappy single goal win. Maybe they might get a late one for 2-0 or something like that. But,
One goes in off Harry Maguire's arse or something.
I tell you what, do you know what it is? Before we signed our player, I know we're going to come to it later on, but I was actually about to tweet out, I think we should sign Harry Maguire as an emergency striker. Because at least he gets in the box and scores goals.
Takes a good penalty. He takes a good penalty.
He does. He heads. I'll tell you what, the amount of times they've thrown him up front and he's delivered, it's actually crazy. And I think he's better than Højlund.
Well, Tottenham have got a young lad. I think we're going to send him out on loan, but Luka Vuskovic, and he's I think 17 still, and he's like 6'5", an absolute man mountain. He just wins everything in the box. Good technical skill. So I've said, like in pre-season, keep him around the squad and just stick him up front for the last 5-10 minutes. He'll win everything.
Exactly. And sometimes it works, and with Maguire it does. What was your prediction, Sean?
1-0.
1-0 FC?
1-0 to Man United.
I'm going to go 2-0. I like a horrific performance, but they'll win 2-0.
Yeah, I think 2-1. I think it'll be close, just because how poor they're playing, really. And Burnley have their tails up a little bit after a great result against Sunderland, which takes us on to the dirties, the unwashed, the unthinkable, the untalkable. Sunderland at home to Brentford. I know, I'm sorry, I can't help myself. The stadium is shite at 3:00. Brentford kept a hold of Wissa, but I don't think he's in the squad again this weekend. I would love Wissa at Newcastle United. Don't get me wrong. He scored 19 goals last season, non-penalties, which everyone reminding him he never scored a penalty, which is even bigger. But he's doing an Isaac, and I do not like it. And I think he's treating Brentford very poorly after they give him his big break in the Premier League. I mean, where do you stand on that one, FC? Because I think it's disgraceful.
Yeah, I never like to see this, really. We were linked with Wissa earlier in the summer, obviously with the Thomas Frank connections and everything. And
I thought he would go to you guys. I really did.
Yeah, I think there was strong links, and kind of. I think Richarlison coming back good has kind of minimised the need a little bit. Matthias Tel can play up front as well, obviously. But it surprised me really because. Isaac has been brilliant for Newcastle, but he did have. I remember when he was in Spain, he had a bit of a tag of being a kind of moody kind of striker. Wow. So it didn't really surprise me too much there. But Wissa, everything at Brentford kind of screamed, "We're a happy family," and so it surprised me really to see that happen. It's kind of maybe he's seen Thomas Frank go, all the coaches go, other players go, and think I've got to go take the nuclear option here and just get myself out of here as quickly as possible. But it just leaves a bad taste in your mouth, doesn't it? It's not good to see.
Yeah, it's not. Sean, where do you stand with it? You wouldn't like to see it if he was a Villa player, would you? I mean, let's face it.
Well, I'd love to see him as a Villa player. No, I think FC's made a lot of good points there, because I think he's unlucky on the order of people going out the door. So if someone approached first, say Newcastle approached right at the beginning.
Well, that's what they said. That's what.
Yeah, but did they give me ask the price? I mean, we don't know what went on there. If he was the first out the door, then maybe none of this would have made a difference. But Brentford can't afford to lose another player like that.
They've signed another striker, haven't they? So
yeah, but it's not for the same quality.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I get that.
It's
only a couple of days left in the window, I think, isn't there? So there's not much time now.
David in Burmo with and the manager and is it Norgard?
Norgard, yeah, and Burmo.
That's I don't know how you replace that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Looking at Sunderland, obviously got knocked out of the Carabao Cup against Huddersfield. Burnley obviously got beat 2-0, but they did get that great win at home, first game of the season against West Ham. Brentford, however, beat Bournemouth away from home, beat Villa at home, sorry, Sean, but also lost to Forest. So Brentford are that team again this year, potentially, where they're great at home and shocking away. So Sunderland must be thinking, we've got a chance today.
Oh, absolutely. This is absolute textbook. You need to win your home games. Exactly what we were talking about before. And this is a game, mate. I mean, they're opening 3 fixtures here. I think are going to fall to type. Win the first at home to West Ham. At home. Lose away to Burnley because Burnley are at home and they need to win the home games. And then the home game against Brentford, where I think they'll sneak it. And I don't know. Obviously, I saw Brentford play last week. They are hard to play against at their place. It is. I mean, we could still be playing now, and we wouldn't have scored. It was. Yeah, I mean, we'll come to Villa, but it's. I think it'll be tight. I think it'll be very, very tight. I think it'll be a 2-1 Sunderland.
Before we give our predictions, Sunderland are winless in the last 5 meetings with Brentford in all competitions. Drawn 2 and lost 3. So there's a little stat for you before you think about doing it. Sunderland v Brentford will be the 940th different fixture being played in the Premier League. They last faced in the top flight in 1946-47, but the Black Cats won 3-0 away and 2-1 at home, so they did a double over them that year. Very interesting. FC, what are your thoughts on Sunderland's chances today?
I think both of these teams have had like up and down starts, haven't they, really? And it's difficult to predict a winner. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 3-0 either way, really, but probably be low scoring. I'm going to go for Brentford. Let's call it 2-1. Brentford 2-1.
I think Sunderland 2-1.
Same
as FC. Kind of, you could see it 3-0 either way, or you could see 0-0. But I think Sunderland will sneak it 2-1 with that mindset of we absolutely must win our home matches.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've all gone 2-1, and I'm guessing you know which way I've gone. We've all played it pretty safe, and it wouldn't surprise me now that it's a draw.
yeah.
That's how it normally works out.
To be honest, 0-0 wouldn't be a bad shout either. They could just nullify it at both ends.
Yeah. Which means after we've said that now, it'll absolutely be a 4-all button.
Yeah.
It'll be 2-2 after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Right, we move on to your team, FC. Spurs v Bournemouth. You guys are on a massive high at the moment.
Yeah.
Xavi Simons signing when everyone thought he was going to Chelsea. Fabrizio Romano for about 2 weeks was twerking like a young teenager about Simons going to Chelsea and how wrong he was. I love it when he's wrong. He's gone down in my estimates, that lad.
He's in a bad summer.
He has. But again, I mean, you guys are 5-0 so far this season, 3-0 and 2-0 against the champions.
Yeah.
For some people, Man City, great performance away to them. I mean, Jesus. I mean, again, with no disrespect, and it's banter. You guys love winning the Premier League in August. So, I mean, you must be happy.
Well, yeah, I'm very happy. Right now, obviously, I was like, last time I was on, I was like, oh, what is happening with my club? But 2 wins, a good win changes a lot, and 2 good wins changes a lot more. And picked up Xavi Simons now, and I think we're only if we can get a left-sided defender as a backup. Nathan Ake has been linked, and we can pull off one more attacker. I still don't think the Savinho thing's dead, but if we get him or another one, I think I said to my brother that this will be the deepest, most kind of sensible squad we've had for a long time. 2 good players in every position. Couldn't really say there's a gap. You can just debate the quality in each position, really. And it'll be the best in terms of personnel, the best transfer window we will have had if we bring in those 2 extra players. But you can still be critical of the timings and the methodology used. But yeah, I'm on a high now. I have to say we do win the league in August, September, and I did mention last time it's all boils down to the depth. We've got a good.
Yes.
Our back line's really good, but I don't want to see situations where, like we had a couple of seasons ago, where we effectively went into the season with 0 backup centre back, and we had to play Davies and Emerson at centre back for 5 games, and or however long it was. but we're building that depth now. I'm very happy with Thomas Frank, and Bournemouth's a funny side. They're quite competent, and annoyingly competent. And Semenya's like one of the form players of the country, so he's a fear factor. But if we can kind of mark him out the game, I think we should hopefully get over the line today with a bit of luck.
Well, a bit of a fun match fact for you. Having won their first 5 Premier League home games against Bournemouth, keeping a clean sheet in each of the first 4, Tottenham have won just one of the last 3 against the Cherries. Chipping in 6 goals in the process as well. So that's an interesting stat. Last few results, 2-2, 1-0 to Bournemouth and 3-1 to Tottenham. It could be anything. Sean, Bournemouth going to the London Stadium. The Spurs, what's your stadium called these days? I forget.
It's still called the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
Stadium. There we go. So
we haven't got the naming rights. No. We haven't sold them yet.
You will do soon. Bournemouth, I mean, obviously, that game against Liverpool so unlucky. Semenyo was brilliant after what happened to him. They then beat Wolves, so they've got 3 points. Do you give them any sort of chance today against Tottenham?
No.
No, not at all.
No. This is not the Tottenham side that you've seen in
previously. Yeah, I get that.
This is my older brother's a Tottenham fan, and we watched the Super Cup final together. And even though obviously we went against them with the penalties, I watched that game and I went, there's something different about this side.
Yeah.
They look tougher. They look more resilient. They don't look like they're about to collapse at any given moment. And as you're saying, it's not a case now of, if we lose the centre back, then screwed. And then you watch the first 2 games. The first game of the season against, was it Burnley? They beat 3-0. Yeah. So, am I right in thinking? Did you score all 3 goals in the second half?
God. Let me think. No, I think we got Richarlison fairly early, didn't he? With the kind of scissor kick type thing, and then
bicycle kick.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it wasn't 0-0 at half time. It was maybe 2-0.
In years gone by, there may have been an equaliser in there. You may have still won the game, but there may have been.
It was 1-0 for a long time, and I think, to be fair, I wouldn't say the scoreline flattered us because we did beat them quite comfortably. Yeah. But at 1-0, Burnley had their moments. They were. I said at the time, I actually think they look quite a well coached team, but just lack the quality. So
you went away to City, and that was, I mean,
the masterclass on counter-attacking football, wasn't it?
About as polished professional performance you'll see as he had for quite some time.
A couple of Tottenham fans said that we do have a bit of a jinx over like Man City, but previously it always felt like chaotic, and we were like counter-attacking and hit them on the break a lot, and we would have low possession. Whereas this was the first real victory where it looked like we were the dominant side and we just completely controlled the game, which was a nice surprise. And there's a lot of truth in that, I think.
They looked every bit as good as the result. As you say, in the last ones where you've got high scoring draws or wins against them, there's, as you say, it's been like breakneck speed chaos, whereas this was a well put together tactic, purposely played out and successfully executed. And how often have you said that about Tottenham?
I know. Yeah, so I'm like, if we can bring in these extra 2 players that I think we need, we're not desperate for them now, but I think we can bring in. My predictions, I might have to revise my predictions for the season, but I'd be very, very quietly confident if we can get 2 big name, two good quality signings at centre back and left wing.
I think your biggest signing stands on the touchline.
Yeah, definitely. He's been. I like Big Ange. I felt like he deserved another season after what he did, but there's no denying that we just look like a more competent side now. Even last season, again, I don't think you can write too much into our league form last season. However, in every game, cup or league, I was pulling my hair out.
Yeah, but
I just couldn't believe every single game, wave after wave of attack would have Pedro Porro up against two players at the back post on the counter attack every single game, and it was just.
I mean, I watched quite a few Tottenham games last year, and I did used to think, like, if I was a Tottenham fan, this would be shortening my life dramatically. But the thing is, I think we're all. I really liked Ange. I thought he deserved another year, but football's not fair, and that's not.
No.
But Thomas Frank, I think we're all going to find out the manager he actually is.
Yeah, I think it's a shrewd signing, and I think you had to make it when you did because somebody else would have took him, to be honest.
Definitely.
Some great news if this is true. Apparently, Newcastle have approached Tony Cruz as a coach and training role at Newcastle. That would be amazing. Obviously, I don't know if you guys know this, but he came out on a podcast recently and said he was going to buy a membership at Newcastle because he loves the way we play football. And apparently, he gets us and we get him, apparently. So there we go. So that's another one on the ballot that I won't be winning because of Tony Cruz. Thank you, mate. Prediction, Sean?
I think it'll be 2-0 Tottenham.
Ooh. FC?
I'd love another clean sheet, but it's not often we keep 3 clean sheets in the trot, so I think we'll concede. But I'm going to go 3-1. 3-1.
Interesting.
I think that's what the difference is, though. I think that's one of them big key things is where I think Thomas Frank has found a way to get this defence and backline and goalkeeper to have this massive pride about, getting a clean sheet is as good as winning a game.
Yeah.
Oh, it is, yeah.
And it's getting that pride in doing that. I don't know. He just looks such a different side to what I've seen.
Mm-hmm. And there's a couple of the players have really stepped up as well. Again, you could put that down to the coaching, but like Papa Sarr's just been he's becoming the player that we all hoped he would be. He's just been an absolute pressing monster in midfield and just turning over the ball brilliantly.
There's a couple of guys I'm really looking forward to seeing this season, and they all involve Tottenham.
Yeah. Well, I'm splitting these down the middle.
Spurs Newcastle will be fantastic.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, results today. I've gone 2-2. I've gone Desmond.
Okay.
I don't know. I just fancy Bournemouth to maybe sneak a draw. You just never know.
Great receptors.
Yeah. Right. Next game: Wolves at the Molineux Stadium against Everton. I'm not going to lie, FC. I don't know how Everton won 2-0 last weekend against Brighton. I watched that game, and Brighton were all over them, and then somehow Everton went 2-0 up.
Classic Brighton performance, was it? Yeah. loads of chances, but ended up losing. But Everton. If you look at some of the players they've been linked to, they could quietly kind of pull together quite a half decent team there, which I think they need to because they would have been relegation fodder otherwise. But it's a difficult one. This, I think I'll go. I think I'll go Everton 2-1. I think they're generally the better team, but Wolves have a decent manager, a couple of decent players, but I put Wolves down as one of the relegation candidates, so I'll stick to that, really.
I had them both down as potential relegation candidates, to be honest with you. But Wolves 1-1, Everton 4-0, Wolves 3-0. They're the last 3 results.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be
I think it could be one of those. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if it turned out to be like a drab 0-0 as well. 2 low quality teams. Drawing a blank, but difficult one to pick. Actually, I think I think I'm going to go. I might revise that. I'm going to go for 1-0.
Well, Sean, Wolves are losing Strand Larson today. I don't think he's in the squad due to the rumours of him coming to Newcastle. He's a massive miss for them. I mean, I hope he comes. Don't get me wrong, but have they got enough firepower to get the win
if Wolves get anything from this game, it'll be because Everton have been worse.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But I think Everton will start to pick it up. I know from personal experience, Jack Grealish is a great player. And when you are in that position of where you need a mercurial player, where everything's going to sort of magnate towards them, he is a really good guy to have in that situation. He wins you so many free kicks. So really, you think that David Moyes, for the last 2 weeks, really, it should have all been set-piece training.
Yeah.
That guy will win you so much that you just base everything off of that.
That's an interesting comment. What's your score prediction, Sean?
I'm going to go 2-1 Everton.
Ooh. I'm the same as FC. I've gone 1-1.
I can easily see it being that. But...
Yeah. I guess I think Everton were very, very lucky last weekend, and I just think it'll be two average teams cancelling each other out potentially.
I would normally go 1-1, but I just cannot bring myself to say anything.
That is absolutely fine. Right, afternoon kickoff. We go to Elland Road. Leeds, newly promoted team, on a bit of a high again. Take on Newcastle, my team. It's going to be very, very difficult, but we are massively on a high now that we finally signed what potentially could be a bargain in vault mode from Stuttgart. He plays as a number 10 or a number 9, which is very interesting. So we're still looking for another striker so we can solve this Isak crisis and get him out our door, get rid of him. But purely focusing on this game, I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough game. Leeds have started all right, haven't they, Sean? I mean, they look like, at home especially, they look like a team that's not afraid to play football. They're going to do the high press. That could be their downfall tonight, though.
I've been waiting for this one because I got my prediction right, didn't I? Last week I said 5. No,
you did.
And
They've got a Tonkin at Arsenal, obviously, but they won the first game at home and they dominated the game at home against Everton.
They did dominate, but they only got a very late winner against the Everton side that was so bad. I don't think there's anything there. I don't think there's...
Our suspension, Anthony Gordon missing, Shaw. Apparently, Shaw's all right. He didn't have concussion, so he might be able to play. Tonali's a doubt, and Joe Linton's definitely missing.
I still think there's enough.
Yeah.
I still think there's enough for you. I think Leeds would have to put together, like, they'd need to go at least 2-0 up because defensively they don't look sound. Up front, I don't think there's a plethora of goals, and the less in the middle, the better. But I just don't think there's enough there.
Yeah. Well, you saw us on the first game of the season how toothless we were without a striker, and now obviously Anthony Gordon's not playing as well.
But I also saw you on Monday against Liverpool. It can go both ways, you know. That kind of thing can bring a steeliness that isn't there before, so you never know. But Anthony Gordon will be a miss, obviously. But I think you've got enough there. I think
I agree with Sean. I think Leeds were poor against Arsenal. I think they're looking like a championship side at the moment, and I think even with the absentees, I think Newcastle will have too much. And I think actually a bit of time away out of the side might do Anthony Gordon a bit of good because he's the goals draw. In pre-season, I thought he looked brilliant against Tottenham, but he just couldn't get the goal, and his goal kind of drought started last season, didn't it? And I think sometimes when that gets in your head, you're trying a bit too hard, and that probably kind of came out in the red card a little bit. And I think
the lad's taken a lot on his shoulders. He's really sort of stumped himself up as going, I'm going to be Mr. Newcastle. In that situation, all right, this guy's gone, or we don't know if he's gone, or basically he's not playing. I'm going to be the guy that'll dig in for us, and it didn't mean to hurt him. It was just overexcited, but it was a shame.
It was a shame. I like Anthony Gordon as a player. I just think he's he was chasing the ball and he was just trying to. I can see, like you said, he's got a lot on his shoulders at the moment. I just think a little bit of time away, he can reset. Sometimes that's as good as a good performance or a good training session. A bit of time out of the game a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he can come back stronger and come back. And I actually think whoever stepped, you often see when players get suspended or injured or whatever, the players behind them then step up a little bit. So I think Newcastle will just have a bit too much for Leeds.
Well, these are the previous results: 2-2, 0-0, 1-0 to Newcastle. Leeds have lost just one of the last 6 Premier League games against Newcastle, winning 2, drawn 3. Obviously, they got beat 1-0. But Newcastle have won 50% of their Premier League away games against Leeds, 7 out of 14. So that's quite impressive as well. So, prediction, Sean?
3-1 Newcastle.
Ooh. FC?
Yeah, I was thinking 3-1. Yeah, I'll go with that. I was thinking to changing it just to be different, but yeah, I'll go with 3-1.
Yep.
I can see it playing out being Newcastle go 2-1 up. The game goes on, last 20 minutes, 10 minutes. Leeds try to get the equaliser. Newcastle finish him off.
Awesome. Right. I've gone 2-0. Clean sheet for a change. I just think with our defence, they're poor attacking. The finishing's terrible. We've got Dominic Calvert-Lewin who likes to sky his penalties. I think we'll snitch it 2-0. But it'll be a late 2-0. It won't be a comfortable 2-0. It'll be a late 2-0. And it all depends on the first 15 minutes as well. Got to silence that crowd.
Calvert-Lewin, he's a strange one, isn't he?
Well, they've let Bamford go, haven't they? I didn't realise that. Someone told me that yesterday that he's gone. Yeah. So they're putting all the...
Calvert-Lewin, he should be a good player. It's just there's something that's not quite right there.
Something up there, isn't there? Right, the next game's a bit of a... It's on to Sunday now, 2 o'clock kickoffs. This could be a great game. Brighton against Man City. It'll be a very good footballing game to watch. But Brighton struggling to score. Losing Pedro was obviously massive for them. Man City coming off the back of a defeat. You've always got to be wary of the wounded animal FC. So you've done what Brighton want to do. Do you see Brighton having a chance of beating City this weekend?
Obviously the obvious pick is like Man City will thrash them, but they played really well first game, didn't they? Man City. They weren't so good against us. Yeah, they weren't so good against us. Some of that was because of our quality. Some of it was because they were off. I just think, if Man City lose this as well, you start to question, the poor form that we saw last season. Is that how it is now for Man City? Are they going to be this up and down team? I don't know. But still think Man City will have the quality to beat Brighton. I don't know by how much. With Man City again, they could just absolutely annihilate a team 5-0, or it could be one of those messy games if they concede early. I think with Man City, if you can get the first goal against Man City, even Pep at his best Man City team, I always felt if you go 1-0 up against them, they do struggle a little bit after that. But I'm going to go 3-0 Man City, but just I wouldn't be surprised if Brighton put on a performance as well.
Well, last 3 results: 2-2, 2-1 to Brighton, 4-0 to City away from home. Sean, what are your thoughts on this game?
If we were talking 12 months ago, I'd be fancying Brighton to really give them some trouble. But I don't think it can be underestimated how big a miss João Pedro is.
Oh, it's huge.
And I think it also can't be underestimated that Manchester City, one of the key assets that they have and that has won them so many league titles, is the ability to put on a professional performance away from home against a side that is an absolute potential banana skin. I think they will dispatch Brighton. It could be a rocky first half, but I think they'll just do a professional performance. I think. I just think Brighton are not quite the Brighton that they were.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they still play lovely football, don't get me wrong. I mean, like I said, I do not know how they didn't score against Everton. Welbeck on his day can bang a few in, but very interesting. You've got 3-0, did you say, FC, sorry? Or 4-0?
Oh, with 3-0.
3-0.
Yeah.
Sean?
Just so be back to business.
Yeah.
I think 2-0. 2-0 City.
Wow. God, I've gone completely different to all you. I've gone City win, but I've gone 3-2. I just think it'll be one of those games. City, they're always conceding. I think Brighton will get better chances than what they did against Everton because I think Brighton will be doing a lot of the defending. So it'll be very reverse to how Everton played against Brighton. I think that'll be how it'll work. So I think there'll be goals, but I think it'll be one of those ones where Man City might just have too much and end up winning the game 3-2.
I can see absolutely how it has the potential to be that. I don't know. I just feel like I don't know that Brighton have got that in them anymore. I know they've still got some good players. Is it Matoma?
Yeah, Matoma's still
but I just think too much has been taken away. Where they're not quite that breakneck speed Brighton side that we've used to.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
right.
since the under De Zerbi, after that great first season under De Zerbi, actually they looked so good in the early part of that following season. I thought they could be dark horses for the Champions League. Then they kind of fell away, lost De Zerbi, lost João Pedro now. Mitoma, it feels like he's had his time. I love him as a player, but because of his age and everything, I just feel like he was tipped to have a big move somewhere, wasn't it? I think he's missed the boat on that now. I think he'll probably end up, finishing his career at Brighton or whatever. But it's they're not quite the team they used to be. I don't think Brighton, which is why I think it'll be quite comfortable for Man City.
Yeah, agree with that. Then we move on to Forest at the City Ground, taking on West Ham, who, we've mentioned a few times already, look very, very poor. I mean, FC, can you see West Ham turning anything around soon?
Well, we were talking about Man United, about how much of a mess they are, like West Ham as well. There's a picture they got this week about the sack race that you've got Russell Martin at Rangers, Amarin at Man United, and Graham Potter at West Ham. It's like which of them are going to get fired first? Really, West Ham just look a complete mess right now, and I think another loss might be again. It might be Big Sam might be getting the call again.
Yeah,
but so I think Forest are. Yeah, well, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if either of them go back there, but end up there. But Forest, for all their troubles, I think they'll have too much for West Ham, and then it'll be more of a crisis. Crisis will continue at West Ham, I think.
I mean, for Forest, Jonas looking very good. They've won the last 3 against West Ham: 2-1, 3-0, 2-0. I mean, FC mentioned obviously the little problems they've had off the pitch with the Morgan Gibbs-White situation, and they've tied him down to a new contract. They made some decent signings. They probably still looking at the top 7 this season.
Yeah, they look a lot better than I thought they were going to before the season started. I thought that they would not be where they were, but I don't know. Chris Wood just keeps scoring goals, doesn't he?
He does. I know that. I mean, if Newcastle need a striker, what were we thinking? But yeah,
it's I can't see Forest losing this game. I think West Ham are an absolute mess. I think when your club captain's arguing with your fans away from home, it's such a bad look. And I would say Potter's not going to be there for much longer. I mean, a weird stat I heard was he's won 5 out of 23 games that he's been in charge of there.
Something like that, yeah. So it's almost as bad as Almiron.
That's really bad.
It's shocking. And Graham Potter, he still has quite a high reputation, but it's built entirely on his time at Brighton.
Yeah.
And that everyone kind of acknowledges the Brighton kind of structures there are top class in terms of recruitment, and support for the manager and everything like that. The Chelsea fans kind of generally hate him. He's not doing much at West Ham. You know, where does he go next after this? If he gets appointed, if he gets sacked and then gets appointed and it doesn't work out there either, then you've got to question his credentials a little bit. He'll probably end up as England manager after Tuchel, but hopefully not. But I like the guy as a person. He seems like a sound guy and everything. So I don't want to go too heavy on him. But you look at that West Ham side and you think, oh my god.
I can see him being out of a job by the end of the international break, and Brendan Rodgers being in there.
Ooh,
yeah, that's a good shout actually, because he's not a happy boy at Celtic, is he, at the moment? But
it's a difficult job to take on West Ham with the situation they're in, though.
But there is money there. There's money there.
You said there's money there. They've only got till Monday to be able to spend it. That's the problem. And by Christmas, they might be in the same situation Newcastle were in, where they haven't won a game.
I think that someone like Brendan Rodgers would probably whip them in shape. For as much as I love Celtic. I come from an Irish family, so they're like the, you know how it is. That's your second team, but Brendan Rodgers is bigger than that job, which I hate saying. But the thing is that it's because the standard has fallen so low in Scotland. You know, what happens to the two Champions League qualifiers during the week was
brilliant for Newcastle, though. They give us a bumper pay.
yeah. But so I could see Brendan Rodgers coming down and managing West Ham.
Interesting.
Yeah, Graham Potter. I mean, I don't know. Really, if I was Graham Potter, I'd go abroad.
He's no wizard, is he?
Yeah, I agree.
Go abroad, go out of the English eye line, where it's almost like they know everything that's gone wrong for you. Go somewhere where you can build something up a bit, you know. And it's not.
Yeah, that's a good shout. He's the sort of manager that would. I know he's managed abroad before, but like generally his style of management, I think, would work quite well on the continent. I think.
He does have a decent footballing intellect. There's no doubt. But
yeah.
A lot of people don't like Rodgers, though, do they? Like, he seems to have a massive ego.
No, most people don't like Brendan Rodgers. I mean, even his mother turns his pictures around. He has this thing where he, as you say, he's very arrogant. He's very dislikable. But sometimes that's what your club needs.
Yeah, true.
Well, you need someone to come and say, "No, I'm the boss."
Yeah. He's a decent coach. He'll get the team passing the ball well, and you know they. I know we're kind of bashing them a little bit, but if you look at the quality of the players at West Ham, they're better than what they're showing right now. 100%. So a good coach should keep them out of the relegation zone, really.
Yeah. Well, Forest are on a high. Drew with Palace, beat Brentford comfortably. What is your prediction, Sean?
I think it'd be 3-0 Forest.
3-0 Forest. What have you gone with, FC?
I'm going to go 2-1 Forest. 2-1 Forest.
I've gone 3-1 Forest. So we're all in the Forest boat. I think that's one of the first times we've done that.
I think that would just be a little bit too much for him.
Yeah, I agree. Right, on to the big one. Liverpool v Arsenal at Anfield, 4:30 kickoff. Liverpool, obviously, 3-2 winners. Seems to be a running theme with them at the moment, scoring late, conceding leads. I mean, twice they've been 2-0 up and then been pegged back. Arsenal, comfortable last weekend, made a very difficult job against Man United. I thought in the first game of the season, but it's very hard to judge a team on the first game of the season sometimes. So the win was, I thought Arsenal were always going to win it. So they're both going into there with 100% records. Who's going to lose their 100% record though, Sean?
This is going to be
both.
Where we find out where everyone's at.
Yeah.
I Arsenal look good to me. They look like a side that is going to grow into this season. They've got a bit more depth than they've had before. They look more comfortable. Games like that game against Leeds last weekend probably would have been a lot trickier in years gone by, where they would have made it hard for themselves, but instead they dispatched them with relative ease. They've got excitement coming forward because, this young lad that they brought in, this 15-year-old, who just, stuff like that really, really sort of gives fans and the whole club alike this boost, that the future's looking bright. Liverpool conceding 2-goal leads twice in a row, even if you've won both them games, should be a concern.
Yeah, I agree.
But it is at Anfield, which there's always something to be said for that. And Arsenal don't have a great record at Anfield. But if a team is going to expose them for having a poor defence, Arsenal would be that team.
Yeah, I agree with that, to be fair. FC, your thoughts on this game? It's going to be a humdinger, or is it going to be boring because it's the top 6 playing against each other?
I think it'll be a good game. Arsenal are understandably on a high right now, top of the table after two games. Agree, their first game was like, I thought they were rubbish in that first game. This is a very poor Man United side, but I do get what you're saying around first games of the season. You can't, they're always a little bit up and down. Liverpool are looking shaky at the back. They probably could do with Mark Gay coming in ASAP, and I think that deal will get done if Palace can find a replacement for him. And that'll sort out their season. I think he's a top player. It's at Anfield. I think Liverpool are the better team, and I think they'll win. I know I'm a little bit biased in that respect, but Arsenal they're going to give a debut to Eze, I think. So, but they are missing Saka and Odegaard as well, aren't they? I think. And I'm not sure what other injuries they've got, but they're two. Odegaard and Saka. That's
huge players, aren't they?
Two huge players for them that they're missing, and they're crowing. They're flexing their depth at the moment, but I think you can't really replace those sorts of players to that extent. Scorelines are going to be tricky, to be honest, because ordinarily I'd think, well, it's a big game, so Liverpool will sort themselves out. They'll train all week, making sure they're clean sheet. Van Dijk's a top class defender, and he'll keep Gyökeres quiet. So usually I'd go for the clean sheet for Liverpool and just add on a goal or two. But I think it's the way they've been looking so far. They'll probably concede. So maybe 3-1 Liverpool.
Ooh, very interesting. Sean?
I can't quite decide between 2-2 and 2-1 Arsenal. Because I think Liverpool require a wake-up call. And I don't think it can keep happening. 2-2.
2-2. Ooh, I've gone similar. I've gone 1-1.
Yeah.
I always find when the top 6 play each other, and I've seen it so many times, they just cancel each other out, and it ends up being a bit of a boring game, and it finishes 1-1.
Well, if you're chasing the championship, it's not the game you need to win.
No.
The
game you don't want to lose.
That's a good shout. Actually, this early in the season, when the two top team, the teams expected to finish 1 and 2, when they face each other, they just kind of think, well, we can take a draw here. Let's call it a stalemate, and then just see. So I can get that argument. I just can't contemplate. Arsenal winning or drawing, because what their fans will be like online all week. I just can't contemplate that scenario.
That doomsday scenario.
Yeah, they could be outplayed. for 90 minutes and get a 0-0, and it will be winning the league to them. So I cannot contemplate that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Right, we'll move on to Monday night, the last game of the fixtures. Tough one.
Right, we're on Sunday night.
Oh, you Sunday night, are you? Why aren't you on Monday night?
I know, because of international break, I guess.
All right, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, 8 o'clock Sunday night then. Villa take on Crystal Palace. Again, another tough fixture to call, this one. You guys haven't exactly pulled up trees at the moment. A 0-0 draw with us and a loss last week. Palace have done all right. I'm struggling to call this one. What is your thoughts on it?
I'm fucked if I know. It's I don't know which one of us is going to turn up. We've had quite a hangover from last year. I think there's a bit of drop in confidence in the squad because we've had to get rid of people. The problem is you never know who is really popular in the changing room. I think people forget that the best player is not always the most popular person in the changing room. If we've gone and sold someone who everybody loved having around, I don't know. It's little things like that can upset apple carts, and I don't know. Jacob Ramsey going because he's a homegrown player. I mean, it had to be done. We needed to. We've not looked good the first 2 games. We've really looked quite toothless, and we're not passing the ball as well as we did. And I don't know. Ollie Watkins looks a little bit gun shy. So I'm not sure. I hope this is the game where we kick off.
Wake up.
Yeah. Especially
need to wake up.
Break as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is important for all clubs, isn't it? To get their first win on the board who haven't got one or got a point yet. They'll be thinking we need something to take us into the national break with a bit of confidence to come out of it. So I think this is quite an important game for Villa. Yeah,
I mean, we have to get something because up till tomorrow night, we've achieved to square root fuck all. So really need to kick on. Otherwise, I don't know. You've then got to wait another 2 weeks before international nonsense sods off. And I don't know. It's just a long time to wait.
Yeah. FC Palace losing Eze is a massive loss. I mean, that's Eze gone now. The 2 of the most influential players when it comes to, running with the ball, creativity. I feel a bit sorry for Palace because everyone's just cherry picking, aren't they?
Mark Gahey is going to be the next one, I think. If not by Monday, it will be January or next year.
Yeah. Well, next year he's free, isn't he?
He'll definitely be off it. And I think the chairman's already said they can't really afford for him to go on a free, so he'll be gone sooner or later.
It's not their business model.
I was literally about to say that it's the business model, it's the football food chain, isn't it? Really, and I think clubs that realise that and build slowly, because just because you accept that doesn't mean that you're accepting it forever. You have to understand that, okay, we're going to have to buy, sell to buy in the short term, build ourselves up, and have a long-term plan. You just got to accept that. Like that model's worked for Leipzig and other teams that are on the continent. It worked brilliantly for them, and now they're one of the top teams in Germany. And you can look at other examples as well. In terms of this match, I think Villa have to win. Really, they're at such a low ebb morale-wise, as we all just witnessed with Sean there. It surprised me this season because I thought Watkins looked great in pre-season. Daniel Marlin did in pre-season as well, and I picked him in my FPL team, and he's not started, has he? So which is a bit annoying. But I just think I just cannot envisage Villa losing this and going into the international window international break on a loss, and everything that means for the club and everything. I just think Villa have to win this, and they will just about get over the line. Palace losing theirs, they won't help them. So I just kind of feel it's going in Villa's direction. This game, it could be a tight
score prediction.
1-0,
1-0,
1-0 Villa. Yeah.
Sean.
Before I get a prediction, I'm surprised no one's interested in Mateta.
I mean, they were, but I think Palace have said they're not going to sell, to be honest with you.
Fair enough.
I don't think they can afford to lose him as well.
A couple of seasons back, I said Tottenham should just go in, get Elise, Eze, and Mateta, get the front three, because they were firing, and that would solve all our issues. But they've been kind of slowly broken apart, haven't they?
I know what you mean. It is sad. Like,
my winners. Very quick like that. It's a bit unfair.
I mean, I'm quite familiar with Palace. My old nan was a Palace fan. She was the one that kind of got us into football. So I've always had a bit of a soft spot for them. But problem is, it's the only way they can afford to stay alive. It's a bit sad. You don't want to see it, really. You want to see stuff that produce decent players kick on, you know. It's how it is, I suppose. But
well, what they do, you sell your players, build up your revenue, build up your profits, get a new stadium, take a step back a little bit while you build your new stadium, get the higher profits. You just build slowly like that, and clubs like Crystal Palace, they're never going to win the league and win the European trophies without a long-term strategy like that. So, it's not accepting your fate forever, but you just got a slow build.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
You've got something to look forward to.
Yeah. What's your prediction, Sean?
2-0 Villa.
Ooh, I've gone 2-1 Villa.
Okay.
So there we go. So
we've all gone for Villa.
Yeah, all gone for Villa. There's my predictions are in. It's on Twitter if you want to go and follow them and see how I do. I think we've all pretty much said, I think we've been pretty close on the money, haven't we? We've all said the same results, apart from maybe one or two. I'm looking forward to this game week. Hopefully we'll be back next week as well, maybe a bit of a later time. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Depends on kids and family and stuff like that. But we are trying to do this every Saturday so you can get an insight of what we think about what's going to happen for the Premier League week. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, FC, for joining us as ever. I'll be in touch. And guys, I should hopefully be doing the watch along later on for the Newcastle game. But again, depends on family because I've got my parents visiting for a change, which will be nice. So enjoy your weekend, guys, and good luck to all your teams. Apart from Leeds, apart from Sunderland, of course.